You're tapped into the Love Offering, your inspiration station, Worship 94.5 FM. Told you that we're going to be checking in with my man Eric Benet tonight. So much to discuss. So he's going to hang out with us throughout the entire show. And we got to discuss the album, the duets album he has. We got to discuss this tour he's jumping on with Joe and Music Soul Child. Just a lot taking place. So let's just go on and get into it. Eric Benet, what's going on, my boy?
What up? It's RoJay.
This is RoJay. How's everything with you?
Man, I'm so blessed right now, man. I am at this really dope time in my life, you know. I'm in my 50s. I feel like I've matured to a certain place of accepting the things that you can't change, but making the best of what God has given you. And sometimes you fight that until you get it. And then once you get it, things just fall into place, man. And I'm at that place right now.
No stress, right?
There might be people like satellites around me trying to stress about stuff, and I'm the voice of reason. I'm the voice of, look, it's gonna be all right. Because if that ain't happening the way you want it to, maybe it ain't supposed to. We supposed to be doing this over here. And then once we try that over here, we realize that, oh, this is way better than that other thing. So
Right.
it's just like that thing in life, man, when you realize how powerful you are and that there's always something there for you that you don't see. And
Oh yeah.
that's what this whole JBR creative group company is. This record label that I started with Allison Ball. It's an exercise in realizing how powerful your spirit is and realizing how much you can help other artists. And that's really the reason why we started this company. It wasn't to make a lot of money. It wasn't to just, do the glitz and the glamour of the music industry. It was, yo, there's a whole lot of young artists out there that like either need some advice or they need a deal or they need somebody to sit them down and say, you really ain't talented enough for the monster that is the music industry. You need to maybe your talents, you need to discover what they are because it ain't in singing. It ain't in, your verses really ain't that dope. Sometimes they need to hear that tough love to set them up for that wonderful thing that God has planned for them. We are just having an incredible time. The first single on my project went number one with Tamar Braxton, and it's thanks to people like you. We got the next single with Shantae Moore, and we signed a bunch of artists. And now I'm going on tour with two of my brothers who I love, Joe and Music Soul Child. And we just finna kill it. We basically all three of us are gonna be holding that torch. On the handle of that torch is written R&B is still alive. So we
Oh
we just
yeah.
gonna yeah, we gonna be on that stage, man, on this tour, just spreading that message.
Well, we're gonna get into all of that, trust and believe. So I want my lovers to stick around. Is to take over with my man Eric Benet right here, your inspiration station, Worship 94.5 FM. You're tapped into the Love Offering, your inspiration station, Worship 94.5 FM. Your man RoJay holding it down with the one and only Eric Benet, getting ready for the R&B Invitation Tour. Now they're going to be stopping through the city of Huntsville February 8th. Joe, Music Soul Child, and my dude Eric Benet. Now, Eric, I know the talent that's on this roster. I totally get it and understand it. But what was it for you that confirmed that this was the trio that needed to hit the road together?
Let's see, how do I say this? It's almost like if you have the certain machine behind you and a certain amount of money behind you, almost anybody can come out with like one hit. Bro, I don't even know if you can sing, but if you had the right producer and you had the right money and you had the right marketing machine behind you, somebody can say, "Yo, come to the studio and put your voice on this hook." And if the song is dope enough, and if the stars align and the money aligns, you can have a hit. But can you have like 15 hits over 20 years?
Right.
So the thing about me being excited with working with my brother Joe and my brother Music Soul Child is they are men like me who hold R&B and real music to a certain reverence that we have devoted our life to this art form of passion and love and soul. And we all, between the three of us, have consistently over the years just kept putting out hit after hit after hit after hit. So it's like anytime I'm in the presence of somebody like-minded and like talented like me, it's just exciting. So to put us on a tour just makes sense.
The crazy thing is, I actually devour live shows. Like, I can actually just tell you the number of shows I've gone to just here recently. The crazy thing is, I have never seen you live. Like, I've never seen an Eric Benet show. And it's not because I'm not an Eric Benet fan. It's because I just haven't caught you on the road. You know, you took some downtime with the family and things of that nature. But for somebody like me who has never seen an Eric Benet show, what is something that you do in your live show, or what can we expect from your live show that may not necessarily translate on the albums?
Well, well, first of all, I'm looking very much forward to you experiencing like my live performance for the first time. That's exciting. I think one of the things about me is, at the risk of sounding like the old man in the room, which unfortunately more often than not, now I am the old man in the room. But when I first started going into the studio at 16 or 17 years old, actually before that, I was like probably 14 years old, laying down my little ideas for songs. It was an era where the technological crutches that singers and musicians not only use today but rely on today for their income, they did not exist, right? So I had to learn from an early age how to sing it as if I'm singing in front of a live audience. I had to learn how to sing a song from start to finish with passion, with musical accuracy,
Mm-hmm.
and all the soul that could not be added by a plug-in or some new invention that they're using in the studio. So taking years and years of that methodology of putting my heart and soul into every vocal and bringing that to stage. If you have only seen artists who are modern artists, and then you see somebody from like my school, you'd be like, damn, how did he sing that song better than the recording?
Right.
Because that's a talent that you just had to have to survive. So I think that's something people should expect to see. They should expect to see a vocal performance that's even better than the recorded performance they've gotten used to on some of my hits.
Nothing beats our era, seriously. The R&B Invitation Tour, February 8th at the VBC. Joe, Music Soul Child, and my man Eric Benet, who's joining me tonight on the takeover on the Love Offering. Got so much more on the way. Keep it locked right here, your inspiration station. Worship 94.5 FM. Something We Can Make Love To, Eric Benet featuring Tamar Braxton. Your inspiration station, Worship 94.5 FM. Actually, another number one for my man Eric Benet. And listen, we got to stop and absorb this. We got to smell the roses, right? So, Eric, first of all, we got to talk about how this feels, because I think it was like maybe a 14-year span between this number one and your last number one on the charts, because you took some time to be with family and you hadn't recorded for a while, but you came back in this new era and hit number one. So we have to ask, how did that even feel for you?
Man, thank you for asking that question. It felt so incredibly, almost like more impactful than my number ones felt in my 30s or way back when, because when you're young, it's almost like there's an appreciation for blessings that don't really hit you without a little bit more life experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of feel like I'm 58 years old. I know my song is out there struggling with Chris Brown and Lucky Day or whoever. And to know that at this stage in my life, I can deliver music that is received by so many different ages and genres of people. It's just like it doesn't just roll off my back. Like maybe I remember the first number one I had, yeah, that was incredible.
Right.
The second number one, it was kind of, I think I probably got more caught up in, oh, we got to stay number one for a certain amount of weeks in order for it to be great, instead of
Mm-hmm.
just appreciating the fact that you got there out of all the songs in the country. So it's kind of like that now at my age. It's like, man, when we were top five, I was doing backflips. I was like, are you kidding me? Because it's not only the fact that I've been in the game so long, but it's like it's on my label now. This is my record label, JBR. And I got a really lean staff of a bunch of people who really care about the industry and they care about the artists we're signing. We ain't got obviously, we ain't got money that these big, huge record labels have that can just drop a whole lot of cash to make that number one happen. We ain't got that. We got heart, we got
Mm-hmm.
talent, and we got ambition. And to be able to get there with just that was absolutely amazing. And if it happens again, it's gonna feel probably even better.
I definitely can understand that. Listen, the takeover with my man Eric Benet is not done yet. So much more on the way, including the new one with Shantae Moore. Keep it locked right here, your inspiration station. Worship 94.5 FM. Tapped into the Love Offering, your inspiration station, Worship 94.5 FM. The latest one from my man Eric Benet featuring Shantae Moore, So Distracted from his Duets album. We'll be touching base here in Huntsville on February 8th for the R&B Invitation Tour. But we're joined by my man Eric Benet and to take over tonight. And of course, we got to discuss this song. So Shantae Moore, very underrated vocalist, much like yourself.
In
Thank
the
you. She's
game.
incredible. She
Like
is
the people
incredible.
recognize it. I do believe people recognize it, but for some reason it's still kind of taken for granted, right?
Right.
When you decided to enlist these ladies for the duets project, you got Shantae, you got Tamar, Lettucey, Corinne Bailey Ray, Latasha,
Mm-hmm.
all
Mm-hmm.
very different, but all very incredible in their own lanes.
Yeah.
What was something special that you look for in each of these ladies to collaborate with for this project?
Every song that you write, or at least for me, when I'm conceiving a song, just like I'm conceiving which instruments need to be played, like, oh, this song definitely is gonna have a horn section. But what? How is that horn section gonna be? Is it gonna be like a James Brown horn section, or is it gonna be like kind of like the group Chicago horn section? The song dictates what it needs. Oh, or is it not horns at all? Is it like string? So the song tells me what it needs. And so if I'm listening to a certain song, there's a certain like vulnerability or like this super feminine, strong energy that it needs. Like there's a certain kind of voice that I know I need to go to. So that's really it. It's like when you listen to the Corinne Bailey Ray song, it's like this whimsical, you're in some other universe. Maybe you smoked something, maybe you had a couple drinks, and you just
Right.
like you tripping on life with this
Mm-hmm.
person. And Corinne just kind of has that ethereal, for lack of a better term, like fairyland voice, right?
Right.
And something like the first single with Tamar, it's just like sexy, and you just want to hear super feminine, super sexy with strength. And it was like, oh, that's Tamar on this joint. So the song dictates who's gonna be on the. I can ask, and you got to make sure there's like a couple people on your list because some of them are gonna be unavailable or whoop whoop whoop. So it kind of goes down like that.
Now, I gotta ask. I gotta ask. You did one with the ladies. Would this
Mm-hmm.
be something you're interested in giving with some of your favorite male voices in the industry?
Man, that would be so dope. It would be so dope. That's not gonna happen on the next project. I'll tell you that because I think I'm gonna do a solo project after this one. But it's definitely something for me to consider with maybe a little bit of time. Because there's a lot of my brothers out there who I love, and I love their voice and I love their talent. And we could just like go in the studio and just be playing around and messing around on some tracks and mess around and have like a hit, just us being foolish,
Right, right.
not even think this ain't gonna be no real song, bro. Let's just play around on this joint. I imagine it going down like that. Like we ain't even like really all that serious and mess around and come up with something monstrous.
we can only imagine, but I know we would definitely be down for that. Listen, the R&B Invitation Tour coming to Huntsville February 8th. My man Eric Benet, Joe, and Music Soul Child hitting the city. We got more to discuss right here on the Takeover with the Love Offering. My man Eric Benet. Keep it locked right here, your Inspiration Station. Worship 94.5 FM. My man Eric Benet with Right Time, featuring my girl Legacy off of his Duets album. Hey, I had to sneak that one in real quick before we got off the phone, Eric.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's such a dope collaboration, but I do believe that you selected some great voices to complement yours on this project.
Very excited to know that you're coming to the city on the R&B Invitation Tour. Joe, Music Soul Child, I know you fellas are going to kill it. I've been listening to music ever since I knew what music was. I'm in love with vocals. I'm in love with production. I'm in love with harmonies. And you've made the playlist more than a few times, but I'm very excited to see you live for the first time. And I'm thankful that you hung out with me tonight on the Love Offering. Always a great time when I can get my veterans involved. So thanks for doing that, because you don't have to.
Appreciate you, for real, man. God bless you, man. For real.
No doubt. And keep cracking up the people on social media. I don't know what you got going on.
For real.
But my homegirl, my MD, she said, he keeps me laughing on this thing. So, it's working.
I ain't gonna stop.
But for real, thank you once again. Not going to hold you up any longer, but I will see you when you touch down in the city.
We're going to make sure the people come out and show some love to you.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
All right. You have a great day, all right?
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Yep.
Keep it locked. I have a little more time with you guys right here, your Inspiration Station. Worship 94.5 FM.